You have no
I
idea
am not
about the
arguing
Timbuktu
with you.
manuscripts. You have
I
no
am
idea
not
about the
arguing with
University
you.
of Sankore. You have no idea about the University of Genève. You have no idea that Timbuktu used to produce 10 times the amount of books annually than Europe produced in its entire history. Were you aware of that? Up until
No.
the 15th century, Europe had only produced 50,000 manuscripts in total. 50,000 manuscripts. Timbuktu used to produce 500,000 manuscripts annually. Are you aware of that?
No, I'm not.
So that's 10 times. So what you don't understand is there is this huge knowledge gap between Africa and Europe, but it's running in the opposite direction than you have been educated. But you're not aware of that because you haven't done the reading. I understand where Africa is right now. It's hard for you to envision that ever being the case. But what you're simply doing is taking the European utilization of the gun and the cannon, and you're expressing that that is the only thing that matters in history.
If you knew what you were made of, then we would save the world.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm good.
You've been annoying everybody. Let's hear what you have to say.
I know. But I actually love what you're doing. Actually, I'm a fan. I'm just, trying to give a different perspective. Just hear me out a little bit. And I want to explain to you why I get very angry when I listen to people like yourself speak about this issue. I live in Lagos. I was born and bred in Lagos. I've stayed in several African countries. Yeah, I've stayed in several African countries. And to be honest, I'm sick and tired of you, Black Americans, people that are living in the Western country. You feel this need to always be, to always prove that, Africa is just as equal, Africa is just as whatever. Meanwhile, you are not suffering the adverse effect of living in an African society. If you really, really think Africa is the next big thing, come and live here.
Okay, so sorry, I just need to slow down. No, slow down, because I have to just make sure you qualify the stuff that you say. Yeah?
That's fine.
So you said that I'm always trying to sell that Africa, you said the entire continent of Africa is the next best thing. Yeah? That's what you said. Yeah? So I'm always trying to sell that Africa is the next best thing. And you're saying, can you just tell me, quote me, when I've made a statement like that? Even on this live stream.
Yes, I don't have a direct quote. I'm talking about the essence of your statement. You usually make it like there is nothing inherently wrong with Black societies, and that is what I'm angry with. There is something inherently wrong with us, and let's stop denying the fact. You live in a white man's country, so you enjoy the development of the white man. I stay in Africa. So stop telling me, oh, it's because of the colonial empire. Oh, it's because of something else.
Pause. So you're very emotional, okay? And it's important.
I am. Because
discuss,
we are dying every
it's
day.
important when you discuss things. We discuss facts.
We can't feed ourselves.
Okay, just
and yet you are coming to pretend like there's nothing wrong.
Just pause for a second. Okay? Because what you're doing now is something called projecting. Do you understand? And projecting is when you're feeling something inside, and so you project that behavior onto other people, but you don't have the evidence to suggest that that's actually the case. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my channel, yeah? And we'll see if what you're saying about the videos that I produce is correct. Okay, because you've made the claim that there's no blame
live stream,
to be placed upon
you have
African.
Tried to excuse.
No. Even on this live stream, the only thing I've done in this live stream, the only thing I've done.
You have tried to. Sorry,
stop. Stop.
On this live
no,
stream,
stop.
Try to excuse the reason why we can't maintain the real way. That is wrong. That explanation is completely wrong. You always.
Stop. I'm going to mute you for a second because I have to say the only thing that I've done in this live stream is correct an incorrect definition of the word maintenance. Okay, that's the thing I've done in this live. So I'm going to unmute you now, and you need to kind of like go ahead. Sorry, go ahead. You can say what you're saying now.
Yes. In this live stream, you said the reason why we couldn't maintain the colonial railways were because they were built for the sole purpose of extracting resources. And I'm telling you that is wrong. We have built railways after the colonial masters left, and we still can't maintain those ones too. We have built infrastructures after the colonial masters left. We can't maintain anything. Give me a reason why without blaming the white man.
For a second. Shall I jump in there now and answer that?
Yeah.
Okay, so first of all, let's separate two things. Okay, so first of all, whether or not you've had railways built since then, which have fallen into disrepair. By the way, that's something that I agreed with, because did you not hear me talk about Abuja in its current system and its current state? Did you hear me talk about Abuja earlier?
Yes.
What did I say about Abuja?
You said
what did I say about Abuja?
He said the first time he came there in 2013, it looked like a Middle Eastern state, and when you came recently, it was all run down. Why? Are you going to blame the Europeans now?
Stop. Who did I blame?
Huh? The leaders. Who did I blame? The leaders.
Exactly. Did I blame Westerners?
So what was your point about?
Did you hear me blame
Westerners about colonial railways? So where did the Westerners come?
The point I was making is stop. There's a separation. There's two things can be true. Okay, the colonial railways fell into disrepair across the African continent because they don't have any use. Okay, your separate argument about railways being built since then that have fallen into disrepair will be the same reason that you see Abuja falling into disrepair. And that's because Nigeria is very corrupt. The problem that you have is that you are trying to take your microcosmic experience of living in Lagos, which is probably the most hustle city in the entire world. Yeah. And you're trying to say that that is the case for all of Africa. And I'm going to tell you that you are incorrect. You haven't been across all of Africa. You haven't been across all of Africa. I haven't lived in Africa.
So what are you telling me about?
No, I haven't lived in Africa. But I was literally just telling you about. I gave you as a juxtaposition that I gave you a juxtaposition that I've spent plenty of time in Accra, and Accra is developing. Accra is building. Accra improves every time I go. Yeah, I'm back and forth to Accra all of the time. So you are giving one example from the fact that you live in Lagos, and we've already agreed that Nigeria is not moving in the right direction. And if you go to my videos, which I wanted to show to you very quickly, because you're talking like I act like that it can't go wrong. I have this video here called The Failed Wakanda. Nigeria will never become a superpower unless, if he succeeds, Africa will fail. Yeah. I talk about failed African, particularly Nigeria, because obviously that's the one that's close to my heart. I talk about it all the time. So you making this false idea that I have this kind of like thing where, oh no, Nigeria's great. I've never ever suggested that. And I've never ever turned around and said all of Nigeria's problems are external. I've never said that. I've said Nigeria's problems are due to bad governance. So you are incorrect in that.
No. I'm telling you now, if you look at sub-Saharan Africa,
yes.
Because if you look at all of sub-Saharan
so explain. Have you been to Accra?
Yes.
Have you been to Accra?
Yeah,
okay, so you think Accra is evolving? So you think Accra is getting worse or getting better?
There is no significant difference when you travel across West Africa. We're all equally poor. Our infrastructure is equally bad.
No, you're talking nonsense. Respectfully, you're talking nonsense. Respectfully, you're talking nonsense. Respectfully,
Accra is Sweden, and Lagos is like, okay, tell me, what is so?
No, I'm saying that it's a country. I'm saying that it's a city that is improving all of the time. Okay, in fact, you know, Ghana's currency is one of the only ones that actually went up against the dollar in Africa. Okay, and across a lot of Europe as well. It's strengthened against the dollar. So Ghana is moving.
Does that mean Ghana is a first world country? See.
No one said that. No one said that. Listen. Don't argue with straw man. Listen, my friend.
See, not a straw man. This is reality. We are poor. We are dying. Stop pretending
you're
like
poor.
the country is poor. Come home. Come and see what your fellow Africans have done.
Yeah, but I do go to Nigeria. Look, my friend, I don't mean this in a disrespectful way, but your current situation, which is causing you frustration, is causing you to talk in a certain way, and it's not something that I can help you with, unfortunately. Okay, I understand your frustration, but it's not something that I can help you. What I can do is I can tell you from a macroeconomic perspective, the countries that are doing worse and the countries that are improving. And you happen to live in a country that is doing worse. That's where you happen to live.
Please,
okay? You can't turn around and say that is
I know you have all the answers. Please tell me why sub-Saharan Africa is the way it is. NASA just went to space. There's no black African you can bring to me now in Nigeria that can sort of go close to what they're doing. Tell me why we are so backwards. I don't have the answers. Trust me, I don't. And I'm looking for the answers. I don't agree with Zanu.
Okay.
But Zanu
let me ask you a question. Okay.
You run to the
I'll ask you a series of questions.
That's your fellow black men. Yet you want to pretend like
no, I didn't abandon. I didn't run anywhere. I was born here, my friend. I didn't run anywhere. I was born here, my friend.
You're old enough to move back. If the Jews can return back to Israel after 1,000 years, they always come back home. Why should I move back? Because Africa is you realize that the white man's society is superior. That's why you want to stay there. If you truly believe in your fellow black men, come and live with us.
So
I don't know why you like to pretend.
Stop talking for a second. It's not about pretending, first of all, yeah? First of all, I have land in Accra, and my plan is to live there. I wouldn't live in Lagos because I don't like it, to be honest with you, yeah? But secondly, that's an aside point. Even if I chose to stay here, okay, because I have investments here, okay, I have property here. This is where I've built my life and this is where I've grown up. Even if I chose to stay here, you don't really have the right to tell me where to live and tell me if I'm not willing to live somewhere, then I can't speak on that place. That's ridiculous. Respectfully, it's ridiculous. Don't be angry because it's nothing to do with that. Don't be angry. Stop.
You would rather live with the white people than live with your fellow Africans, and you want to turn around and tell me that there's really nothing. You're just giving excuses. If you are really Pan-Africanist, if you really believe in your people, come and stay with us. The same way the Jews went back to Israel after 1,000 years. The same way the Jews went back to Israel after
respectfully, respectfully,
what is so respectfully, I definitely. Why do you hate us so much? Respectfully, why do you hate your tribe man so much?
Stop for a second. I would live.
To pretend.
I can't mute you because you're not listening. Respectfully, I would live with 1 million white people over having you as my next door neighbor. I could never live with people like you. People like you are literally like a poison to my spirit. So I'm telling you right now, I would live in India than have you as my next door neighbor. I'm telling you that right now. So one of the reasons why I would not go back to Lagos is because of people like you. There's no progress living with or amongst people. There's no progress living with or amongst people like you. You are backwards. You're hateful. You would stab people in the back. You would get them shot. You would do all of that. You are what is called an A-class sellout. You're an A-class sellout, and people like you are the most dangerous. If you found your way into government, you would bring more misery to Nigerian people than the current president because you're angry and you're bitter. So yes, I would live with KKK. I would live in Mississippi in 1960 than live next door to you. You are poison, my friend. I'm being honest with you. Yeah, that's my like people like you are poison. Oh, why don't you come to because of people like you? Because of people like you, you're exactly why I don't come to them. You're exactly why I wouldn't even consider. I wouldn't even consider.
African man that would go and live with other races against his own race. Why are you just pretending? Come on, come back home. If you are so proud to be black, come and live
I live with
us.
plenty of black people. I met
Come and live in
respectfully,
Africa.
mate.
Come
I
home.
met my
Come back
respectfully,
home.
mate.
That's
I met my beautiful
Leave that
black
place for the
wife
white
over
men.
here in
Don't
London.
want
There's
to
loads of black people. There's
You'd
loads of
rather
black
be called
people,
a
my friend.
nigger. You'd rather be
You want
called
me
a
to struggle? You want me to come? You want me to come there? You want me to come there and to struggle with you, so you can then set me up in the alleyway and stab me through the heart, my
So
friend? No
agree
way,
that the white
not in a
man society
million
is better.
years, not in a million
Agree
years.
better.
People like you are
Agree
the
the white man
problem.
society is
You
better.
are the
I know
problem.
the problem.
You are the
Yeah,
problem.
but agree that the white man society is better. Just agree that the white man society is better. That's why you live there.
Well, technically, I live here, so anywhere I live is going to be better. Let me give Wesker his mic off.
LOL.
Anywhere I live is better, my friend. Respectfully. Yeah, wherever I go, wherever I bless, wherever land I bless with my feet is improved by my presence.
That tells a lot about you.
I would rather live, like I said, I would rather live in Bombay than live with you. Honestly, I'd rather live in Bombay than live with people like you. You are the bottom. You are literally the type of people
I'm
that
not
I
the whole
avoid like
Nigeria.
the
I'm
plague.
just one person.
Like the
You can
plague.
avoid me, that's fine, but come home. Okay, I won't talk to you, but come home.
No, it's okay. I would never tell you. I would never tell you if I was coming or going. Yeah, that's the one thing my mom told me about Nigerian people like you. You don't let them know if you're coming or going. Yeah, because these are the people that will make you disappear.
You hate also. You hate your fellow blacks. That's why you don't want to stay
I hate
with
people
us.
like you. I hate people like you. Respectfully, I hate people like you. I do. Absolutely.
I know. You hate fellow black people. That's why you want to stay with
like
us.
you. Absolutely. Listen, one thing I know is skin folk are not kinfolk. Okay, that's one thing I know. Skin folk are not kinfolk. So if you're sitting on this channel and you haven't learned from my videos that I don't like all black people, yeah, because people need to understand that I love black people, but I don't like all black people. In fact, some black people need to not be. Okay, that's it. They need to not be. I don't hold my tongue because someone's black, as you saw from my videos that I've done about Bantu City Diaries, who you probably love, okay, and Frank Zanu. I cannot stand some black people. Some black people I absolutely hate. So yes, be very, very aware of that. There's many, many black people I absolutely hate. I absolutely hate. So there's none of this kind of like, there's no naive here, yeah? Naive, oh, I love all black people. That was, that was for those 20th century blacks. This is 2026, yeah? We've learned enough. We've had enough of our, we've had enough of our forthright leaders stabbed in the back by blacks like you. You're a compayore in the making, yeah? We don't stomach you anymore, yeah? Sosa, do you have anything else to say that's rational, or you gotta keep shouting down the mic? I'm gonna unmute you now.
Yes, I.
Or you just gotta keep telling me to come and live in Nigeria. You got any other gems that you want to drop on us?
See, I just need you to explain to us why we are so backwards. I don't need all this.
Can I step in?
I just want to know the truth. Please explain to me why don't we develop?
Wesker's gonna provide us an answer. If you could answer, if you let him answer your question, that'd be great. Yeah, Wesker, how you doing, sir?
All right. I'm doing well. So, sir, what's your question?
Go on. He asked why we so backwards. He asked why are we so backwards. That was his question.
Can you answer it?
Why are we so backwards?
Please don't blame the white man. Don't blame anybody else. Just give me.
Sure, I can answer without blaming anyone.
Talking too much.
So, sir, I'm going to be. Since I cannot blame. Yes. I'm going to blame you, so. So, sir, you are backwards because you are ignorant. You have been educationally starved of the truth. You don't know how the world works. Okay, you don't know how the world works. and you've been fed a steady diet of lies about how the white man's world is very nosy, very nosy. So the white man's world occupies a space of what is right in your heart, which is not true. The reason why the white man's world is so good, at least from your perspective, is because they are robbing you and you are suffering. And all you want to do is just be like them. So who are you going to rob? Tell me. Who do you want to rob to be like the white man? You only have your fellow black people, bro. Do you want to rob me? You see where the problem is? Stop thinking like a white man.
Why?
You want to be like them. That's why all of us are suffering.
Can I respond?
I'm not blaming white man. I'm blaming you.
I know. Can I
The white
respond?
man is doing what is necessary for a survival. The white man needs to survive, so he's surviving.
Yes, please. All you've said.
So you, why? See, I'm not done. The white man's model is not working for you because the white man has you where you need to be.
The white man.
You understand that?
The white man.
I'm not blaming you. I'm blaming you.
So what is the problem? Do you know when I was born? African has been backward before I was born. So that's a very silly argument.
Bro,
if
you want Africa to move forward,
before the Europeans,
if you want Africa to move forward, understand how the world works.
Technologically backward. So whatever story you're going to give,
the fact that you can be on this live stream, means that you have access. Go and learn the truth.
Tell me the truth, please. Who is holding back? Who is holding the black man back, please?
Your years of programming.
My years of programming.
Your years of programming holding you back.
That is why Africa is backwards. Because somebody programmed.
Africa is not backwards. You are backwards.
See,
You know,
The Mazite side is not backwards. You are backwards.
I'm just gonna say, Sosa. I think one of the biggest problems that Africa has always had is, and I need you to listen to this point, is people who are historically illiterate always being willing to collude because they believe that the solution is going to come from working with the colluder. Okay, so let me land on this really quickly. For instance, the Congo, all right? Everyone will look at the Congo and be like, oh, it's the poorest nation on the planet, okay? Because Africans are backwards. That's what you'd say if you don't read history. If you read history and you realize the Belgians colonized the Congo, committed the worst recorded genocide in human history on the Congo, and then when the Congolese got together and they voted their own president in, who was progressive and who was going to move that nation forward, they killed him on TV. Okay, the colluders got together. They paid people like you to kill him on TV. They put in place a puppet and they surrounded them with puppet leaders from surrounding nations like Rwanda, etc., who have been extracting resource from that nation to its current day. Now, in that line of events that I've just given you, tell me where the backwards Congolese people are to blame. You tell me right now, do you believe, don't deflect, listen to the question. Tell me, along the line of Congo's history, from the colonization of the Belgians to present where the Congolese people are to blame for where they are right now?
Thank you. Throughout history, societies have always competed. They always compete for resources.
Stop. So, sir. Stop, because I asked you a very specific question, and I don't want you to beat around. If we talk semantically, we'll miss it. So I need you to answer the question about the Congo directly.
I'll go directly about the Congo.
Along their history, the modern Congolese people are to blame for where they are right now.
They are to blame because they did not develop the tools and the understanding necessary to defend themselves. We did not develop guns.
Is it tools that shooting Congolese?
Wow.
The Europeans were able to subjugate the Congolese because they were technologically advanced. If the Congolese were technologically advanced also, we would be able to resist, just the way the whole of history works. The whole of history, people try to attack and they defend themselves.
I'm going to explain. So I'm going to understand your logic here, yeah?
So explain to me now.
Let me respond to that.
The people of the
Congo, let me respond to that. So your logic is, one second. Your logic is the Congolese 200 years ago are the ones to blame because they didn't possess the weaponry to win the war. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 generations later, those descendants of the Congolese are still to blame because their ancestors were not strong enough to have fended off the Europeans. That's your answer. Is that your final answer? Yeah.
No, not my.
I'm not sure, man. In you, I'm making sense of what you just said. You said we couldn't resist the Europeans.
Correct. Yes, the first part is correct. The people of the Congo did not have the understanding to build weaponry and tools and defensive mechanisms to resist intrusions. That is how it has been throughout the world. Presently, now we still don't possess the skills. So it is a continuous process. No,
you
always again. Never have the skill. Again.
So I'm gonna let's stay on the Congo. Let's stay on the Congo because I think you're missing something here. Okay, so you have to understand when Europe colonized the Congo, that was coming literally at the end of Europe essentially colonizing the known world. So that they'd become a very well-oiled machine at invading nations. And by the way, many people don't exist anymore. So many of these African people who you're berating are actually quite exceptional in that they survived the European onslaught because Europe actually drove many, many people to extinction. When they invaded, several South American, North American ethnicities just no longer exist. They were wiped off the map. The Tasmanians wiped off the face of the earth. Several in Asia wiped off the face of the earth. You don't even know they existed. They have no history. Nothing's written about them. They're just gone. So the Congolese weren't strong enough to resist them. Just like everyone else in the world, no one was strong enough to resist the Europeans. The Europeans essentially conquered every single land that their feet touched on. And because of that, they deserved what has been the continual manufacturing of extraction of resources from their nation, the enslavement of their people, the biggest genocide. They deserved all of that because they lost a conflict with Europe 200 years ago. They deserve that. Is that truly your answer? They deserve that.
The real world doesn't care about your feelings. The real world doesn't care about what is nice, what feels
good. It's not about feelings.
No, stop living in a la land. The fact is that societies conquer other societies and exploit them for resources. That is how the world works. In order not to be a victim, you need to develop the intellectual capacity to build weaponry to resist that. Africa could never do that. Before the Europeans came, we didn't have the concept of technology or anything else. So what is your problem? Why can't you just admit that without Europeans, Africans were still technologically backwards? So it has nothing to do with Europeans. When Isaac Newton was understanding the laws of gravity, what were your forefathers doing? Nothing. So why are we just going to pretend like, oh, Africa was the Wakanda before the Europeans came? Please tell me our innovations. Tell me, tell me something that
your unlearnedness is absolutely hilarious, because you just don't know anything about these regions you're talking about. You obviously don't know about Congo's. Do you know anything about Congo's pre-colonial history? Are you aware that the Kingdom of Congo was literally one of the greatest kingdoms ever? Are you aware of that?
Not as I'm not.
Are you aware that the rulers of Portugal used to bow to? Are you aware that the rulers of Portugal used to bow to the kings of Congo? Are you aware of that? Just say no if you're not.
I'm not aware.
Just say no if you're not.
No, I'm not aware. But can you tell me why
you're not aware?
Congo did not develop like Europe?
Is that, no, you keep using the word.
Tell me why you don't.
You don't just describe a people as backwards because they lose a conflict. What's backwards there is your education. So the reason you describe the Congo as backwards is because you seem to describe everyone that loses a war as backwards. So just out of interest, do you classify every single group, civilization, country that has lost a conflict to another country as being backwards? Were the Libyans backwards?
No.
Were the Libyans backwards? Were the Libyans backwards when the West gave weapons to the Benghazites and they created an uprising in that nation? Were they backwards?
We are talking about Congo. We are talking about the Congo. Don't run away from the subject.
The Congo weren't backwards. You don't know their history. You just admitted that. You've already admitted you don't know the Congo. No.
If you know the history,
you've already admitted.
Can you compare the societies of the Congo with European societies? Can you compare those two societies?
Absolutely. Of course you can.
Of course you can.
Of course you can.
Oh my God. So the society that gave us Newton and gave us all these great minds is equal to the societies of the Congo, right? You are hilarious.
How many, first of all, what do you think that Newton did out of interest?
He understood the laws of motion. He gave us the laws of gravity. The same laws we used to go to space.
I'm sorry, Sosa, slow down. And what has that done for anyone?
It has given us the ability to have this video call right now.
The ability to what, sorry?
Because of people like Newton and Einstein, we can communicate remotely right now. It all stems directly from their innovation.
So to be clear, yeah, because a society gave us Newton, yeah, then Africa's not able to compare. Is that what you're?
Yes.
Where you landed?
Africa never gave us anything.
Never gave us anything
comparable to that.
Are you sure about that?
Pre-colonial Africa.
So let me ask you a question. Don't
give me a straw man.
Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Let me ask you a question. Okay, so can you tell me where was the largest university library up until I think the building of the Cambridge Library in the 19th century? What was the largest ever library in history?
If I had to guess, I would say I'll say probably Mali, somewhere in North Africa.
Yeah, it was Timbuktu.
Okay.
So
what was the language? What was the language of communication in this library?
What was the? Do you want me to tell you what the language of communication was?
Yes, please.
Do you know what it was? Out of interest.
I don't know. That's what I'm asking you. I'm not.
Okay, so the language of communication in Timbuktu was Manding.
Okay.
Okay. And I know you thought it was Arabic because they used Arabic script for a lot of their books. But do you know what the Ajami script is?
I don't know.
Do you know what the Ajami script is? Okay, so the Ajami script is when... So shall I tell you?
Tell me,
Cool.
please.
So the Ajami script is when they write their local languages using the Arabic script. Okay, so they use the Arabic script to write their local languages. So you'd find Timbuktu manuscripts are written in everything from Tamashek to Bambara to Manding to Fula to even Yoruba. Okay, so you have all of those scripts that were present in the Timbuktu manuscripts. All of those scripts are present.
Develop.
Okay,
Why
and
didn't the native languages
let me
develop
finish.
writing
Timbuktu
system?
was the first university to offer secular courses. That's non-religious courses. It was the first university to offer Greek philosophy, for
So
instance.
your point is that
It was the first university to offer secular sciences as courses. Okay, so you've just sat there making the entire argument that Africa is unable to compete because it wasn't able to produce a Newton, according to you, and yet Africa was responsible for educating most of the known world in that period of time that you're talking about.
So why didn't we educate ourselves?
Sorry?
Why? See,
But they did.
Just because
They did.
Just because
Timbuktu had a population of 100,000 and 25,000 were students.
I'm not talking about
Timbuktu. Had the biggest student population. Had the biggest student population in the world.
Arabs. I'm talking about indigenous sub-Saharan African countries.
Do you know what you're talking about? There were no Arab teachers in Timbuktu. Listen, you need to stop talking for a second because you don't know what you're talking about. There were no Arab teachers in Timbuktu. The teachers in Timbuktu, I just told you that the main language spoken in Timbuktu was Manding, and you're talking to me about Arabs. I just explained about the Ajami script, and you're talking to me about Arabs.
Why is
there was no Arab teachers? Pardon?
Who taught them Arabic? Why is their script written in Arabic?
Okay, this guy doesn't listen. It's like talking to a wall. It's like talking to a wall. I can't talk to you if your brain is not going to operate after I've already answered these questions to you. There's no point in talking.
Always insults.
No, but I just explained something very simple to you. We already covered this topic of language at the start, and we always already covered the topic.
No, my point is that
script.
My point.
You just said Arabs. You just said Arabs. No. Your point was you are the one that went to Libya.
We're talking about Congo, and I told you that.
You just said Arabs. So you're trying to change the topic now because your point. You're trying to change the topic now because your point rested on the fact that
the Congo was never developed like the European city-states. The Congo was never developed like that, and you keep pointing to this university that.
That's incorrect.
Okay, so tell me why. Okay, so according to your perspective, the Congo before colonialism was just as developed as Europeans.
Okay, so have you? So here's the important thing. I could actually show you books right now.
See, I'm not pretending. This is not
a minute. You're actually irritating me. I'm gonna mute you because you're irritating me. There's a book called Pre-Colonial Black Africa that you could read, and there's several books that talk about the Kingdom of Congo. Several books written by the manuscripts written by the Portuguese that explain that the Kingdom of Congo and the cities within the Congo were grander than the ones in Europe. Okay, so you're sitting there and you're talking with authority about subjects you know nothing about, and that's when people get really irritating because at the end of the day, I've allowed you to make your points about Nigeria and this and that. Okay, when I'm making points, I'm trying to explain to you things that you clearly are not read on. You haven't done the reading. There's no point in you arguing back and shouting back when you don't even know half of these things existed. You have no idea about the Timbuktu manuscripts. You have no idea about the University of Sankore. You have no idea about the University of Genève. You have no idea that Timbuktu used to produce 10 times the amount of books annually than Europe produced in its entire history. Were you aware of that? Up until the 15th century, Europe had only produced 50,000 manuscripts in total. 50,000 manuscripts. Timbuktu used to produce 500,000 manuscripts annually. Are you aware of that?
No, I'm not.
So that's 10
Thank
times.
you.
So what you don't understand is there is this huge knowledge gap between Africa and Europe, but it's running in the opposite direction than you have been educated. But you're not aware of that because you haven't done
I'm
the
not
reading.
aware.
I
Thank you. I have
understand
not.
where Africa is right now. It's hard for you to envision that ever being the case. But what you're simply doing is taking the European utilization of the gun and the cannon, and you're expressing that that is the only thing that matters in history.
I didn't say
Europeans
that.
were able to
Science,
utilize the gun. No,
technology,
you're saying essentially every
medicine,
war,
space
you said
exploration.
clearly that every war that's lost has proven that that nation was backwards.
I never
Congo
said that.
lost against Europe. You said
I
you've
never
used the word
said
backward
that.
many times. Congo lost because they were backwards.
We
You
are
didn't say that.
backwards because we are backwards not because we didn't have the gun. We are backwards because we lack the understanding of the world around us to actually exercise our agency, build technology, and do the things that Europeans do. You keep pretending like we are just equal. So why don't we land on the moon? Why don't we split the atom? Just give me a reason why we don't do these amazing things that other societies do.